More Super League madness as teams drop out. Chelsea keep their top four dreams alive. Bayern Munich closing on the Bundesliga title. Spurs contacted Jose replacement and a transfer roundup all coming up in the next few minutes. As I'm your host, Matt Froelich, you are the OneFootballers, and this is the Daily News. So first up, and my God, what a week for football it's been. Less than 48 hours after agreeing to this European Super League, most of the clubs have now dropped out. Yesterday saw a load of protests, especially online and from Chelsea fans outside the stadium ahead of their match against Brighton, which eventually were heard by the clubs. And now, as it turns out, all 6 of the English Premier League sides who are going to join the European Super League have decided to now quit. But it does not stop there. The fallout from this is absolutely astronomical. Firstly, in Manchester United Executive Vice Chairman Ed Woodward has decided to leave the club, and apparently there are reports that this might have a little something to do with the European Super League. He'll be leaving his role at the end of the season, and it doesn't stop there. There are so many reports and calls on social media for so many big figures who are behind all of this movement to go ahead and leave their clubs as well. On top of this though, of course, Florentino Perez, who is the mastermind behind all this at Real Madrid, has had quite a lot to say, and as it turns out, the Super League isn't fully cancelled. It's just been put on hold. This is, of course, because as well as the top 6, there are also a few other teams that have pulled out as well. AC Milan and Inter Milan have both said they'll be pulling out, and Atletico Madrid and Barcelona are expected to follow today, meaning that after all this is said and done, Juventus and Real Madrid are the only two who are going to be left. Can you imagine if they played each other in like a weird 38-game season where it's just those two against each other 38 times? If anything, Cristiano Ronaldo fans would be absolutely loving it. It'd just be very, very weird for the rest of football. Alongside this, talking of players, there has been a load of reaction from players, and they basically all said the same thing. They're absolutely delighted they're not going to be a part of this project. There have been numerous letters sent out to fans. There are a few from Gerard Piqué, from Aymeric Laporte as well, and a whole host of other players. I'm sorry I can't name every single player that's reacted to it, because loads of them have, and it all seems that they're pretty pleased with the final outcome. There are some reports now as well that the Premier League are going to be sanctioning the top 6 clubs who try to break away. If they've broken the law, they could be in for a world of hurt. There's discussions over fines, point stocking, and a load of other bad news coming their way. On top of this, you can't help but think that UEFA finding a couple more billion to give to clubs in the new formatting of the Champions League may have also swayed the tide just a little bit as well. Moving on then, and to some actual football on the pitch, because believe it or not, last night there was still some football going on. We spoke about Chelsea fans protesting before the game, and it was them who had a home match against Brighton, and in the true spirit of wanting the Premier League to stay as it is, they drew 0-0 with Brighton. What it does mean for Chelsea is that they have gained another point in their dream of reaching the top 4 again this season. It now means that they are chasing down the likes of Leicester, but of course there are so many more games to be played tonight as well, in which the likes of Tottenham could take a step closer to the top 4, and Liverpool could as well. Actually, in fact, I believe that game is on the weekend. Anyway, there is football still going on. You can still enjoy all of the games that you want to enjoy at the moment. On top of this, elsewhere in English football and in the Championship, Watford beat already promoted Norwich to almost all but seal their return to the Premier League at the first try as well. Next up then, Bayern Munich are ever closer to the Bundesliga title. That's obviously a positive if you support Bayern Munich, not if you support anyone else. And the positives, rather negatives, of last night especially come from Schalke fans, as we all knew it was coming, but eventually their relegation from the Bundesliga for the first time in 30 years has been confirmed, and it's fair to say that a few of the fans aren't exactly happy about it. Last night, because Bayern Munich won 2-0 against Leverkusen, and because Leipzig lost 2-1 to Cologne, it means that they look like they're on course for a 9th title in a row. So next up then, there's reports that Spurs have made contact with their next manager as they look to replace Jose Mourinho, and that is in the form of Athletic Bilbao manager Marcelino. Now, there was a lot of talk about him moving to the Premier League after he had such a good spell with Valencia a few years back. Looking at Valencia, the fact he managed to get them consecutive finishes in the top 4 is a pretty good deal. Along with this, he's also been at Villarreal and Sevilla, and the high-octane football that he likes to play, a lot of fitness involved, a lot of pressing, seems to be more similar to what Spurs had under Mauricio Pochettino, and it's been reported that the club are looking to move in that direction and away from the brand of football that Jose Mourinho brought to the club in the last 17 months. The fact that Marcelino's contract runs out next summer means that it may actually be on a little bit of a cheaper side compared to having to pay a lot of money to bring in, say, Julian Nagelsmann, for example. At the moment, again, the latest reports are that he is definitely more interested in the Bayern Munich job ahead of the Tottenham job. but who knows, maybe money talks in the future. So lastly then, we come to a quick roundup of the rest of the day's transfer news. Actually talking about Jose Mourinho, he has emerged as one of the favourites to take over the Celtic job. That would be unbelievable. Anyway, apparently the long-awaited contract for Sergio Aguero from Barcelona has now officially been put on the table, and it is a 2-year deal for the Argentinian. Real Betis are the latest club to have taken a strong interest in Manchester United centre-back Eric Bailly, and Hector Bellerin is apparently close to sealing a summer switch to PSG. So there you have it then, that's all from me for today. Make sure you give us a big thumbs up, check out everything else we've got going on, and until next time, I will see you guys later.